Welcome to High School Sports on the Harford Cable Network. I'm Don Morrison. Today we're at Patterson Mill High School. It's the Patterson Mill Huskies welcoming the Harford Tech Cobras in a Chesapeake Division field hockey contest. John Esposito, coach of the Harford Tech Cobras, a great year last year, won the Susquehanna undefeated, and then graduation, and then transfer, and then a move up to the Chesapeake. Yeah, thanks a lot,
It was
huh?
a nice reward for us. Yeah, absolutely. Totally unexpected. And we found out in the spring, oh yeah, by the way, we've moved you up after one good year. So it's tough. And of course, we graduated all our seniors and our half our starting lineup. So it's definitely a challenge this year.
But you've got that one great player that you still have left. Talk about her if you would.
We do. Sophomore Emma Hudler. She was a first team All County as a freshman. Terrific club player. She's one of the top 100 players in class of 2022 in the country. So she holds us together.
Well, all county as a freshman, that certainly brings back memories of Lene Gonzalez, whom we'll talk about in a few moments, the great star at Patterson Mill, and I know you have respect for her as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I've known her for a few years, so it's been fun watching her progress up to the national team.
John Esposito, a little different, little unusual, a man coaching field hockey.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, I came from a soccer background. 10, 12 years ago, my daughter got me into hockey, and I started splitting time between soccer and field hockey, and then 8, 9 years ago, went full-time to field hockey.
Tell me about field hockey. What is it about the sport, the game, that really keeps you interested?
Well, the thing that I immediately noticed was that it's very much like soccer, tactically. Now, the technical side I had to get up to speed on, but stepping in as a soccer coach into field hockey, it was somewhat an easy transition, other than my first year when I kept telling everybody to kick the ball. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I guess that's a rule. No, it's been a fairly smooth transition, and I jumped in. I'm a big believer in coach education, so I got involved very early on with USA Field Hockey, and have just been progressing my way up through the coaching ranks.
And your second year at Harford Tech, I understand there was a call almost out of the blue from the athletic director, Emily Knowles, and said, hey, how'd you like to be the field hockey coach?
Yeah, it actually goes back to sophomore, to Emma Hudler. I coach her in club, and she came to me one day and said, we need a coach, and you're going to get a call. And somehow here I am.
Well, wonderful. Good luck to you today and the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Stay right with us. I'm going to turn and talk to Shannon Swinsko. Shannon, you're the only field hockey coach this school has ever known.
Yes, yeah, I've been here since the school opened, so it's been great. It's been fun, and we've had good years and bad years, so hopefully we'll keep building up.
Last year, 9-7 in that tough Chesapeake division. You, like a lot of coaches, a lot of graduations, and of course that's the thing you face every year, especially as a small school, not having the numbers per se.
Yeah, it definitely hits us harder we don't have a ton of athletes coming out for the sport, so it's like you either get a class that's been playing or you might get nobody. Pretty much most of our JV players are new this year, brand new to the sport. Our varsity, we did lose 6 starters, and it's definitely hurting, but at the same time, we still have a good amount of experience on varsity. We just have some people who are less experienced as well, so they're building up.
In that Chesapeake division, we talk about that being game in and game out. Every night you're facing, a really great team. You never seem to have a bye or an easy mark.
No, not at all. Every team in the upper division, every team in the Chesapeake is a tough game, a good game, a competitive game, and honestly, every team on our schedule is going to be competitive. So
yeah. You played a tournament this past weekend, and then had Falston Monday.
Right.
Thanks a lot, right?
Yeah, that was tough. Tough recovery because we only have 5 subs, and our legs aren't as fit as they need to be right now at this time of year. We usually get more fit by October, and that's just how it ends up. And hopefully we can kind of just keep building on our fitness throughout the season.
Coach Swinsko, this may be the last year you'll play on this very good grass field, because the turf field is being finished right now as we speak. You may be able to hear some of the equipment in the background working on it. I know that you like this field.
I do like this field. I mean, at first I didn't, but it's gotten really nice over the years, and they've taken good care of it, and it's really flat, low grass. I do like turf as well, so I'm not against having that. It'll be really nice to play on that and be able to practice on it at times, especially since most of our games end up on turf that are away. But the JV will still get to play on this quite a bit, I believe. So.
And we were talking before, you're expecting your fourth child imminently, as we say, next week, and so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Your first girl, 3 boys and now a little girl.
I know. I'm not going to know what to do.
Wonderful. Stay tuned. It should be an excellent contest between two teams that are looking for a victory to build for the rest of the season. It's Harford Tech versus Patterson Mill. We'll be right back with the first play in just a moment. Well, welcome into Patterson Mill High School. Don Morrison, my partner, Carol Barker. Carol, two teams we would call rebuilding teams. A team, Harford Tech, that was in the Susquehanna last year, lost a lot of starters to graduation, and then lost about 6 or 7 kids who transferred away back to their home school. That's Harford Tech. Now they're coming up to the Chesapeake this year after that spotless record they had in the Susquehanna, faced with a rebuilding year, facing Patterson Mill, a team that has over the years been good, but this year, truth be told, they lost a lot of seniors too, and so they're starting the year at 0-3, 0-5 if you count the tournament. So what we're going to see today, hopefully, is a game where both teams are trying to build for the future.
Right. It's tough when you lose that many people off your squad that have experience. It's just very difficult to compete, with teams that have a full JV program and can just fill in the ranks.
Well, Coach, though, we're not looking at devoid of talent. For instance, Emma Hudler, number 1, a sophomore for Harford Tech. This young lady was first team All-County as a freshman. In your coaching experience, did you ever have a freshman who was first team All-County?
Can't remember. I don't think so. I had a couple of sophomores, but not a freshman.
Amazing. And of course, she's a great club player. And in fact, she's the reason that John Esposito is the coach at Tech. She's being coached by Esposito in the club level. And she says, hey, we need a coach at Tech. How about, I already put your name in to the athletic director. She's going to be calling you. John Esposito said a minute later, the phone rings. It's Emily Knowles on the line from Harford Tech saying, how'd you like to be the field hockey coach? And so he is the field hockey coach now in his second year.
Yeah, well, that's, obviously he's got some background, so that's good.
A soccer man who got into field hockey because his daughter was a field hockey player. He's now what they call a level 2 coach in the USA field hockey program, which you know better than I. That's at the upper level of the coach's pedigree in terms of in the USA field hockey.
Yes, absolutely. That's wonderful.
Speaking of USA field hockey, Lene Gonzalez, who folks may remember 4 years ago played here at Harford, I should say at Patterson Mill, is on the national team and will likely be on the U.S. Olympic team. So a young lady we had the privilege of seeing play here on this very field is going to be an Olympian, in a couple of years.
That's really exciting. That's really exciting for not only for her and her family, but really for Harford County. I mean,
absolutely.
You don't have that very often. I mean, our ice skater and Kimmy Meisner, and now we have a field hockey player. That's wonderful.
Deirdre Magnus and Thomas Jones are the officials, and they will do a great job. I told Deirdre before the game that we would be watching her closely. Of course, I don't know what they're doing, so there'll be no complaints from me. Now, she was telling me that the head guy for the National Officials Association says you get it right 80% of the time, you've done a good job. I think they'll do better than 80%. What do you think,
I think they probably do, yeah. I think she's being a little bit humble.
Huskies dressed in white, the home uniforms with that teal trim. I can't think of another team that has teal as a trim except maybe the Carolina Panthers, and we won't talk about them right now. They're off to a tough start. They'll be going from right to left across your TV screen, and the visiting Harford Tech Cobras going from left to right. Harford Tech 2-1 coming in, 0-3 are the Patterson Mill Huskies. We're just about to get underway. Again, you're watching Emma Hudler in black, number 1, and number 2, Julia Frankus, a senior for Patterson Mill. She's the lady to watch here as far as Patterson Mill is concerned. Carol, 30-minute halves, 10-minute overtimes, 2 of them, sudden death. They go down to 7 players on the side if it comes that far.
Yeah, that really opens up the field too.
Patterson Mill had the misfortune of playing Falston on Monday after playing a tournament over the weekend with a very small squad, so they had a difficult time against Falston, losing 5-0. So Shannon Swinsko, the coach, said, hey, we were glad to do it, but it was tough. And today, Carol, they're facing a game with 2 of their players, 2 of their top players are not here today. They're off on visits, on college visits. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, to make matters even worse, huh?
Yeah, boy. That's what happens with seniors. You know you're going to have that problem.
That's Alyssa Levitt
Jump up.
and Kate Lloyd, the two that are on visits, two of their players. Don't know what the delay is about. Carol will talk about the weather. It is beautiful. A little bit of a wind perhaps, but that's not going to bother field hockey players. The field is a grass field, but as far as grass fields go, Carol, I think you would agree this is probably the best grass field we'll see.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it looks very nice.
Nice and flat, closely trimmed. We're underway with the ball. Patterson Mill. Expect sort of a feeling out process here, if you will, as we begin the game.
Off of Patterson Mill.
We'll give you the starting lineups as we get a chance to. For Patterson Mill, up front, Carly Brent, Cassidy Ward, number 11. Brent is number 8. 18 is Bella Glorioso. Glenn Tangiers, Jenna Tangiers, I should say, number 3. And also number 2, Julia Frankus, the young lady we talked about.
Foul on the Tech player, so it's a free hit for the Huskies. Nice lift.
Carol, the Huskies play a different formation. They play 5 up front, actually 2 up forwards and 3 sort of midfielders.
Nice pass upfield. Beautiful. Her wings got to get it.
Rest of that starting lineup: number 4, Caroline Michaels. Number 4, 16 is Liz Fabio, excuse me, Liz.
Out of bounds off of Tech.
Lily Feltz, number 15. Number 19 is Logan Beatty, and the goalie is Natalie Burke.
Intercepted by number 12 for Patterson Mill.
Patterson Mill, that's Natalie Zalia. Natalie Zalia, yeah, thank you. Number 12, one of the midfielders.
Hit. Nice interception.
Natalie, one of the
11.
seniors on this team.
Cassidy Ward made that interception. Now it's her free hit.
The Huskies have had the ball, not in scoring position. Remember, you have to be inside that 16-yard circle in order to be able to hit the ball directly into the net.
Looks like it'll be a hit coming out for the Tech defense.
Carol, explain that if you would to the folks that aren't familiar with field hockey. The 16-yard circle.
Yeah, the ball has to be struck by an offensive player in the circle for the goal to count. If it goes, that's why sometimes you'll see a goalie just step aside on a ball coming in because she knows that it was hit by, and it wasn't hit by an offensive player.
Number
in
4,
the circle.
Heather Ryder for Tech. Give you their starting lineup as we get a chance.
Nice stick work. Nice pass. Very lovely pass.
Nice center, but the ball is not there to be able to pick up.
Yeah.
Tech coming out with it. Number 15, Lily Uten Ryder. Mackenzie Reith is number 17 in the front line. Emma Hudler, the young lady we talked to you about, number 1 in the midfield, along with Gabriella Baradelli. She's number 6. Paige Stanley is number 8. Natalie Gardini is number 16. The back line, Maria Williams, number 2. Maggie D'Angelo, I should say, is number 11. McKinney Locklear, number 13. The goalie is Auburn Blackman.
That was the stick obstruction. When you hear that clack of the stick, you pretty much know that's going to be called.
Again, this Tech team laden with sophomores and freshmen. 6 of the 11 starters are either sophomores or freshmen.
Paige Stanley, freshman. Oh, now it's Emma.
Yeah, Emma Hudler. Hey, when you've got a star like Emma Hudler, give her the ball.
Oh, what a beautiful hit.
It was all the way through. Now again, she could have let that ball go in the net, could the goalie.
Yes.
Natalie Burke we're talking about.
Save, yeah.
Because it was hit from outside the 16.
And nobody touched it.
But you know what? I'm going to stop it, Carol, because if I'm a goalie, I don't know if somebody touched it or not.
Well, you got to be sure. That's right.
Yeah.
You got to be 100% sure that you're okay.
Here's Hudler now. First team All-County as a freshman last year. But you know what? She's not your typical sophomore, having played club level at an upper level her entire life. There was the clank you talked about, Carol. Ball coming over to Patterson Mill, intercepted by Tech. Great thing about the game from the old days when the whistle blew, they used to stop play and get all reset. Now they just give the ball to the offensive player and off they go.
Nice hit by Emma, but nice save by Patterson Mill.
And here come the Huskies. Oh, that's a nice move down that far sideline.
Sure is.
Yeah, that's Cassidy Ward. Cassidy, one of the seniors on this team.
Oh, beautiful pass. Beautiful.
Get it to the center, huh?
Yep.
That's how you score.
That's how you get. Yeah, and in this game, if you can play most 75% of the game on your right side, you're doing good. You're doing the right
Explain
thing.
that. Why?
Well, because the sport, what we got?
We have the kneeling on the field. Now, what's this all about? I don't know why they're doing that. Is there an injury? No. Yeah, it looks like there is an injury down on the field.
Yeah.
And it is a bit warm here. Not hot, but warm. So I'm sure the young lady's trying to conserve their energy. Can't see that number, and I won't hazard a guess on the far side.
It looks like a 1, but I don't know if it's 11
Yeah.
or 1.
Yeah, we'll just let the trainer come out, and we talk about that every day. It's just so nice to have trainers on site to be able to come out and administer to any injury.
I don't see a trainer.
No, that's Coach John Esposito out there with his player. Just into the game. We can't give you the time. Unfortunately, the scoreboard here doesn't work because of the construction going on to the stadium field, so the electronics are not working. So we're just going to guess on what time it is. We know we're about, 5 minutes into the game perhaps?
Yeah, most likely 5 to 7.
Not sure how long this will be. Like you said, we may be waiting for the trainer. They have football practice and, lacrosse, not
A lot
lacrosse.
of things going on.
Not lacrosse, what I'm talking about. That's a spring sport, dummy. Track and field or cross country going on, so probably the trainer is somewhere else on the premises. Patterson Mill, a beautiful campus. This school opened back in, 2005? Seems like it was yesterday, but here it is like 14 years ago that this school has been open. Shannon Swinsko has been the only coach that this team has ever known in terms of the field hockey program. Go back to the booth. Booth, do you want us to take a break and see how long they're going to be?
Looks like they're going to. Girls are going to pick number 11.
Yeah, it is number 11 for the
Megan
Harford.
D'Angelo.
Yeah.
Looks like a
She's
knee or a foot, ankle.
Maggie D'Angelo, number 11, a junior. Maggie gets a hand from the crowd here. Looks like she's getting off the field, but I think it looks like that left leg not putting a lot of pressure on it at all. Carol, I didn't see the incident where she went down, but suddenly all the players sort of took a knee.
Yeah, I didn't either, Don. There's a lot of bodies in front of the goal, and
we're hoping that Maggie is none the worse for wear. Right now it looks like that's a fairly significant injury. She's certainly not putting any pressure on that left leg. So it will be Patterson Mill ball. No score. If you just tuned in, we're about 5 minutes into the game. And again, I apologize that we don't have a chance to tell you exactly how much time is left. The scorekeeper is across the field, and Carol, my legs won't let me run across there quick enough to come back and tell you.
Yeah, we're past that stage.
We are. Plus, I don't think they'd like me running across the middle of the field. And I wouldn't like it either with that hockey ball out there.
That hockey ball can do a hurt on you.
I'm telling you.
Patterson Mill with control right in the circle.
There's the shot.
There's a shot.
Blocked at the goal level. And kicking it out again is the goalie. That's Auburn Blackman.
Auburn Blackman. Nice save there.
Auburn has a shutout this year among the 3 games that Tech has played, winning 2 and losing 1. 36 saves on the year coming into this contest.
Oh, nice hit. Nice hit.
Cobras have defeated Aberdeen 10-0 and also defeated Eastern Tech. They lost to North Harford 5-0. That was on Monday. Also on Monday, the 5-0 loss for Patterson Mill to Falston. Nice cross pass. Unable to get the shot off. That was Caroline Michaels, the junior, number 4.
Looks like it's going to be a corner for Patterson Mill.
Yeah, they call it a corner now. It's only 10 yards away from the net, so how can it be a corner, Carol? Curiosity, I just want to know.
Yeah, well, it's tradition.
It is tradition, yeah.
It's a penalty corner is what I remember, and it still looks like that same thing.
Only 4 defenders.
4 defenders plus the goalie. Everybody else on the defending team has to be behind the 50. The girls on the offensive team has to wait till the ball is hit, and then they must show control, which she did.
And a goal is scored. Wow. Is
Yeah.
that number 11? Is that Cassidy Ward? I believe it was. That ball was just inside the 16-yard circle, and so it is a goal. 1-0 is our score as
That was a
Patterson
nice
Mill.
setup off that corner. Very lovely. Very lovely.
Number
Good
2,
play.
I'm told, not number 11.
Number 2, yeah.
Julia Frankus, the young lady we mentioned to you. Thank you, Dylan. Our monitor, we're having a little trouble seeing it because it's in the sun. We're not complaining. Last game we did, Carol, the soccer game at John Carroll, we got a little wet. You may have heard.
Yes, I think I did. Nice pass, nice control.
Here comes Patterson Mill up 1-0, about 10 minutes into this first half. This is a Chesapeake Division game, so the winner of this, evens their Chesapeake record at 1. Right now, Carol, in early going, it looks like Patterson Mill has the advantage in terms of control.
Very much, yeah. They've had the ball in front of their goal a lot more times than Tech has. But that's typical. I mean, Patterson Mills.
Did that ball go in?
Yep, it did.
It looks like the ball did go in. Inadvertently, it looked like the goalie may have been screened off, didn't see it. It wasn't a particularly hard shot, but it gets by the goalie, and so just like that, it's 2-0 Patterson Mill. Maybe our booth can tell us who put the ball in the net.
The Patterson Mill girls are not doing what they're supposed to do, which is go get the ball.
Yeah.
The girl scoring needs to bring the ball up.
So we can tell. Come on, help us out a bit. Here comes Tech now, down by 2-0. Well, you don't want to get down by 2 or 3 goals or points because it's very hard to come back, Carol.
Yes, very difficult.
Typical field hockey game, maybe what, 7-5 or something like that would be a typical game?
No.
You're saying less than that?
Less than that, yes.
Well, we've had 10-0 games and we've had 5-0 games, so if the two teams are evenly matched, you're right, it could be a much lower score, but we expected this to be a high-scoring game. With two inexperienced teams, usually it's the defense, Carol, help me out on this, that's harder to learn than it is the offense.
Yes. It's pretty. Defense is a little more difficult.
That last goal, we just didn't see who knocked it in, and I don't think the goalie ever saw it. I don't think she moved at all, Carol.
No.
It was by her, and then she said, "Oh, was that clanky sound, meaning that was a goal?" That's a technical term, Carol. Clanky sound?
Yes.
Thank you.
I knew what you meant.
It was like blink, the ball hit, and she looked around and said, "Oh yeah, there's the ball."
Girls have nice hits. I've been very impressed with both teams on their free hits. They're really doing a nice job.
And Carol, talk about the scoop now that we're seeing the girls do.
Well, that really wasn't a scoop. That was more what they call what in my day was called a flick. The scoop really does get above your head, but it's very soft, very it's a loft. But a flick is really a very advanced skill.
Just sort of a wrist shot, almost like in ice hockey.
Yeah, it's sort of a flip.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it does get up in the air, but usually not above knee height. And that's just a plain old free hit right there, a drive.
Obviously, you cannot take the stick above your waist on the backswing.
Yeah. Or front swing.
Or the front swing, right?
Yeah, we're not playing golf.
Or baseball, or any other sport that gives you a full swing.
Yeah.
And you have to be a right-hander to play this game. I'm amazed if you're left-handed. That's got to be a handicap.
Well, it is and it isn't. I had some girls that played for me at Edgewood, especially. I had a couple of left-handers, and they were very good because their left hand was already strong. So, in this sport, the left hand has a lot to do with the lofting the ball and so forth.
But what we're talking about is the sticks are all right-handed sticks. In other
Right.
words, they have to be on your right side. So
Exactly.
if you're a lefty, you've got to learn to control that ball on your right side.
You can't hit, and it has a flat and a round side, and the flat side's the only thing that can touch the ball.
You can turn the stick around and sort of backhand
you can
it,
do a reverse stick. Yeah.
but it's got to be with the flat side of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of Brooks Robinson, who the great all-time great Oriole, who was really left-handed. He batted right-handed, threw right-handed, but he was ambidextrous to the point of his left hand was his strong hand. Ow! That ball hits off a hand. Well, the goalie is way out. That ball is going to go. No, it hits the corner.
Oh boy, they
I'm
missed
not
it.
sure why the goalie, Natalie Burke, was that far out, but
yeah, they missed an opportunity there.
the ball rolled and rolled and rolled and hit the corner and came out. That could have been a goal for the Tech Cobras.
Now we have another penalty corner.
Why do you think Burke was out that far, Carol?
Well, I think she's been playing out there the whole half. Really, if you watched her, she hasn't had a whole lot of action down
Well,
there.
that's a good point.
Hadn't had a whole lot of action, so I guess she feels like.
I got to get in the play.
Well, not only that, but oh wow,
Nice hard shot, but it's wide. And that was by Emma Hudler. Again, the young lady that we said was the all-county player, and we're told that she has a future in this game, that maybe not quite Lene Gonzalez type future. But I mean, how many times do you get a, oh, ouch!
Oh.
I'm sorry, fans, but that hurt me, and I'm like 20 yards away. She got hit on the leg and on the hand.
Nice carry.
Good interruption there by the Cobras.
Oh, nice pull out.
Carol, you played this game. How serious are the injuries? How many times do you get bruises and scrapes?
Well, really not often. If your team's well coached, and they know how to handle their stick, you can avoid a lot of it. And we used to play with shin guards, and I think they probably have shin guards underneath their socks. We had them over our socks, so that helps a little bit.
Back in your day, of course, they didn't have girls soccer, which they added back in the mid-'70s, and in a way that's hurt field hockey, obviously, because all the great female athletes played field hockey pretty much, unless they ran cross country. Now, you've got sort of half and half, and especially if it's a small school like Patterson Mill, where it's a 1A school, it's difficult to have two strong programs in the same season. And field hockey, Carol, correct me if I'm wrong, is not this kind of sport you can pick up overnight.
No, you need some training. Yeah, soccer is.
I think you're right. Soccer,
because
there's some
soccer,
skills.
They play soccer. All you need is a ball and an open field
No,
somewhere.
no, don't get soccer fans mad at us. But I agree with you. It's much easier for a good athlete.
I mean, just playing kickball.
There's a shot, knocked down at the goal.
Nice stop by number 3, I think it was.
And there's a big shot, another stop by a goalie in there. Wow. Auburn Blackman is under duress in the goal for the Tech Cobras.
Yeah.
And that was number 2, Julia Frankus, the young lady that we spoke about, who was the top player on this Patterson Mill team, number 2. Still 2-0.
Tara Dow made that nice stop, number 3 for Tech. She made the first stop, then the goalie made the second one.
Here we go, still uncontrolled. Cobras really have not had, other than that little rolling shot that hit the corner of the net, they really haven't had a good offensive play here today.
They haven't played in the offensive end very much.
Remember, they're 2-1, are the Cobras. Did lose one game to North Harford. That was Monday after beating Aberdeen and Eastern Tech. Manchester Valley from Carroll County and Falston, along with South Carroll, those are the 3 losses for Patterson Mill as they come in 0-3. Thomas Jones makes the call, and it was a good call. See, he was close enough to hear me. I do play up to the officials, Carol.
Yes, I
You noticed that.
Yes, I have noticed that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's a nice hit up the right wing. Nice interception.
Nice interception. Good job there by the Cobras. Is that number? Yeah, that's number 2 for the Cobras. And let's see, that is Mariah Williams. Mariah's a senior, one of the few seniors on this team, and one of the co-captains, along with Mackenzie Reith, I should say. And Emma Hudler as a sophomore being a co-captain. You know the kind of respect that her team affords her if you're a sophomore and you're a co-captain.
Right, on a varsity team,
yeah. And again, Carol, I ask you from your coaching experience, you've never had a sophomore who was your captain, I bet.
Not on the varsity.
Well, we're going to have that corner coming up. Again, it's 10 yards away from the goal. but it is called a corner.
See if they work their play again where they hit it to number 2 and number 2 shoves it to 11. That's how they scored one of their goals.
Frankus to Ward is the numbers you're talking about. There's Ward. Carrying the ball is Ward. Right in front of the net. Good block in there by Blackman. Stalemate, and the officials will give the ball to the Tech Cobras. We'll get that second goal for you at halftime, the one that we didn't see who knocked it in.
And who didn't pick up the ball.
Yeah. First,
when you go over at halftime, talk to the coaches about that.
Yeah, pick up the ball and bring it. If you don't understand, in field hockey, it's customary for the person who scores the goal to pick it out of the goal and bring it up to midfield and put it down at midfield.
And there's no question.
Yeah. I noticed they didn't do that the last game we did. Maybe it's a new thing. That's Frankus again carrying the ball. You can see the skill that she has as she turned that stick, and Carol, as you talked about that backhand play.
Yeah,
there she is, Frankus with the shot. And Ward was right in front of the goal to try to tip it in. That would have been legal.
Yes.
Again, as Carol explained, you have to hit the ball. An offensive player has to hit it within the 16.
Has to be touched, yep.
Doesn't have to be the one who takes the shot.
Right.
You can deflect it in.
I always told my girls, no matter where they were on the field, if the ball's in your area, try to get your stick on it, you know, because you may just deflect it just enough to either continue to get control or put it in the goal cage.
Yeah. Hudler with the strong hit up the middle.
Beautiful.
I went through, and that time she did let it go. You noticed that goalie in that case, Natalie Burke, said, I know no one hit it if it goes in. I think she thought it was wide anyhow. Dylan is here, our audio engineer, with a worried look on his face. You ever notice that furrowed brow that Dylan has when things aren't working exactly right? Oh, it's perfect. He's just fiddling around, earning his pay.
Nice hit up the wing, Allie. Nice interception.
Yeah, that's Mariah Williams again, number 2.
Mariah doing a good job over there.
Earning her keep as
she's playing the tough side of the field. Left defense is.
Yeah, the right-handed side of the field offensively.
Yeah.
And again, that's because most of the kids are right-handed. You find a kid who can play on the left side, you've got to find. Remember in soccer, Terry Colo used to tell me if I could just find a left-footed kicker, to play that left wing, they're hard to find. Roger Gompers was a great pitcher for me back in the 70s and played on the state championship 1976 Aberdeen High School team.
15 is doing a really nice job of taking that ball. Lily Wooten right there.
Yeah, the Cobras have had a lot more action in their offensive end. There's Williams again. Well, she's been a star out there.
And now she needs to get rid of it, yeah.
And does. Nobody there, though. Well, yes, it is, yeah. Carrying the ball was Mackenzie Reith, number 17. Good defensive play. That's Lily Feltz, senior number 15, playing the middle defensive position for Patterson Mill. We're moving the ball well.
Kate Lloyd was the Patterson Mill gal that corralled that and took it down the field.
Here's Williams. I am not getting that close to that young lady when she's about winding up to hit the ball.
Well, they have to give her 5 yards. They have to give her 5 yards.
I'm going to give her about 20. I don't want to say I'm a coward, but I've been hit by that field hockey ball. Phyllis Hemmes hit me with it once. She was mad at me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Whacked the stick. I'm making it up, but it sounds like a good story.
Yeah.
Phyllis Hemmes, a legendary coach at Bel Air High School.
She was a terrific field hockey coach, that's for sure.
She was that. I think she's the commissioner of the UCBAC now.
Could be. I don't know if this is
I don't know if that's a timeout or that's the end of the half. And I do apologize because we have no way of knowing since there is no clock out here. They told us that the scorer would come out and tap the official on the shoulder about 30 seconds, but I didn't see that happen.
Yeah. It might be a timeout.
It is a timeout, I'm told. Good job, Dylan. Hey, Dylan, did we find out who scored that second goal for Patterson Mill? Crickets. Crickets.
A cricket.
That was silence.
I thought it was grasshopper.
No. But we do know it's 2-0. It is timeout here. We're probably late in the first half. I'd say maybe, 5-7 minutes left in the first half?
Most likely, yeah.
No humidity here today, Carol. So the heat, which it
really
is kind of
beautiful.
in the 80s, but it doesn't feel that warm.
No, it doesn't. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. Kind of a fall day before fall. When's fall come in? The 21st of September?
Yeah, next week.
Today is the, 18th? Maybe 19th? See, when you're retired, sort of one day is like the next day.
That's right.
My favorite day of the week, Sunday for many reasons, but Sunday night because you, Carol, remember as a teacher, you were trying to get your lessons together and facing the beginning of another week and so forth. And so Sunday was always a traumatic evening. Now I kind of, watch the late show and
Yeah, somebody said, what did I enjoy most about my first week of retirement? I said, Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon.
He said,
Yeah.
what? I said, yeah, I could come home from church and turn on the TV and watch ball game.
See, the most difficult job any teacher has, and you'll agree with this, is a history teacher. Because we always had essays to grade and,
Yep.
Those type things. Now, I know my math teachers and science teachers will get all up in arms and say that's not true, but Carol and I will agree that history teaching was the most difficult in terms of workload.
English is not far behind.
Yeah, well, okay.
But both of those subjects, those disciplines take a lot of preparation and a lot of paper grading.
Our favorite English teacher, Chuck Marsden, and I, and you, Carol, will be having lunch together tomorrow at Mamie's Cafe over in Aberdeen.
Yeah, one of our fine Edgewood High graduates,
Yep.
made good for herself.
Brenda Weber, right?
Yeah, class of 74. She'll hate me for that.
Telling her age,
Yeah.
74. Well, she was young. She was
She
like
was
10 years
12.
old.
She was 12.
They had moved her up quickly. Yeah, right. Yep. Carol, I'm so excited. The Edgewood High School Hall of Fame, the 9th annual coming up October the 4th.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. It's going to be very lovely.
Yep.
It's always a lovely day.
6 more great individuals, 5 alumni. Joe Smits, the former staff member, being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Well, here we go. We're back underway. Again, 2-0 the score, as you see. The Tech Cobras down those 2 scores, both coming early in the first half. It's been kind of even since that point, Carol.
Yeah, it really has. Yeah, Tech's had a couple of good offensive thrusts. Should have probably had that one goal that came off, bounced off the cage. Somebody should have been there to put that in.
Yeah. And but for the bounce of the ball, it could have gone in to make
Yeah.
it 2-1. Patterson Mill on the attack, coming down that right side of the field. Carol, what, the field 100 yards long?
Yes.
Goal line to goal line if we were on the football field. I've never measured the net to see how wide it is. Do you know?
I want to say 40, but I'm not sure.
40.
40 yards across.
No,
Maybe.
across, but I meant the net itself.
Oh, the net?
goal. Is it 10
yeah,
feet?
12.
12 feet?
Mm-hmm.
The height really doesn't matter that much, unlike soccer where you get a lot of upper right corner shots. Normally the ball stays pretty low to the ground.
Field hockey's supposed to be on the ground.
Yeah.
Or at least no higher than thigh high. Knee and thigh.
There's Hudler with that great forward shot. Number 1 for
Nice play. Nice stick on the
Tech.
ball. Number 12. Who is that young lady? Natalie Zelaya?
Natalie Zelaya. Yeah,
Zelaya. I'm sorry, Natalie.
that's okay. Natalie doesn't mind. If you say it twice, she
She's got
gets
another
twice the
another
exposure.
free play. Okay.
Natalie Zelaya, a midfielder, a senior. Missed opportunity there for the Huskies.
Mm-hmm. Number 18 and number 12 fighting out. Number 12 gets control for Patterson Mill. And that's Natalie, I think. Yeah. Now here comes Mariah.
Mariah Williams. I love the name, too. Maybe it'll hear the wind through our field mics. Just a pleasant wind, you know, it doesn't bother us at all.
No.
Keeps us nice and cool. And in field hockey, it really isn't that much of a factor, unless you're running into the wind, of course. That can get a little tough.
Nice teamwork. Nice pass. That Patterson Mill girl needs to get it to the right. Now she didn't. She needs to get that ball over here to her right wing. They haven't been able to do it with consistency yet.
Here's a shot. Oh, nice save
Nice
at the net.
save.
Yeah, that's Aubrey Blackman.
Blackman, another nice save.
I think I called her Aubrey. I meant Auburn Blackman.
Auburn, yeah, like the university.
Or the season.
Or no, not Auburn.
Oh, no, not autumn. Excuse me.
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
Oh, we have spring, winter, fall, and a new season.
Auburn.
Auburn. It should be, because if you think about it, the leaves turn into Auburn, don't you think?
Yeah,
Nah.
be all right with me.
Here's Hudler.
Nice hit.
Boy, what a great. She just sort of winds up and hits the ball from, you know, almost wrist only,
But
coming
number-
down the middle. Nice
number
job.
2 is
Yeah,
just,
that's
she's
Frankus.
just-
Julia Frankus, the
Yeah.
young lady who scored the
she's-
first goal.
She's got nice stick work.
She really does. We were told by Coach Swinsko that if there is a star on her team, that would be the young lady.
Let's see if they work their little pass play again.
I've been impressed with the play of number 8, Paige Stanley, for Harford Tech. You'll see her number 8 come into the picture. Just a freshman.
Oh, boy.
Carol, one of the things that if you're
that was a missed opportunity there too.
if you're Harford Tech, you get a lot of transfers out. You don't get a whole lot of transfers in. Most kids who start in the 9th grade in their program of study. Sometimes they, for whatever reason, decide, well, it's not for me, or I want to go back to my home area. So you tend to lose, you know, some of your players.
Right.
Very seldom do you get people transferring in as, you know, juniors, because you can't. It would be very difficult to transfer in, because you would have missed your first 2 years of that program study.
Right. Yeah.
Added challenge for the Cobras. Coach John Esposito, 13-5 in that first season, undefeated in the Susquehanna division. That's Paige, the young lady I was telling you about, Paige Stanley, number 8.
Natalie Gardini is number 16, the freshman, intercepted that.
Here come the Cobras. I should say, here come the Huskies. Number 3
Gina.
is Gina Tangiers. Out of bounds it goes. Got to be the last couple of minutes here of the first half.
Yeah, we got to be close to the end.
Again, we apologize. We have no scoreboard, so we can't give you the time exactly. We can only guess at it. Game started at 3:30. There have been very few stoppages of play except for that extended injury timeout. It's about 4:06 now, so that would mean it would have to be close to the end of the half. 2-0. Patterson Mill scored early in the half. Auburn Blackman sort of slams her pads. I don't know if that's to give herself some enthusiasm as this corner comes up. Notice the offensive players. As soon as she strikes the ball, you'll see the offensive players be ready. Here they come. Oh, and I think that went off. It went off a Tech player into the goal. She was trying to knock it down, but instead the ball went off the stick.
But I don't think they're going to allow it.
Let's see, it went off the stick of McKenna Locklear. They're going to say, no, that is not a goal. Here's a replay. You'll be able to see what happened. The ball went right off Locklear's stick, and they have disallowed that would-be goal. Much to the release of McKenna Locklear, you could see she sort of grabbed her head and said, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I've scored a goal for the other team. Remind me, Carol, of my senior year in basketball. We were playing Bel Air. Cecil Pennington, Cecil will hate me for this, but he took the ball at half court on a tip for Bel Air and went down and scored on a beautiful left-handed layup. Unfortunately, he went the wrong way and scored for us.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
Cecil Pennington.
Thank you, Cecil.
We voted him our most valuable player.
I bet.
I think he led us in scoring that game. We didn't score a lot of points that particular game.
Now that's the scoop right there. Very high loft, but very soft.
Carol, I'll never forget the Aegis wrote a story of that game and said it may have been the worst basketball game ever played in the history of high school basketball in Harford County.
Oh.
Final score was 31-28.
Oh.
We had the 28, and 2 of those points were scored by Cecil Pennington.
You were looking for scores, weren't you?
We got our revenge. The next game we defeated Harford Grace in double overtime, who was undefeated. So I often reminded Robbie Wallace, who was a sports editor at the time and eventually my boss as the news editor at the Aegis, about that story. He remembered the game as, again, being, and it was a very, I think it set high school basketball back about 10 years, basically.
Oh dear. You never know. That's why you play the game, right?
Exactly. Looking to try to get a third goal. Patterson Mill has dominated this contest. They've had the shots on goal.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think Cobras have had maybe one
Yeah,
penalty corner, maybe 2.
Yeah.
I remember one.
I think one. I think you're right.
That looks like halftime.
That looks like it is the half now with a 2-0 score. Patterson Mill leading by that 2 goals they scored like early in the contest, and then had the dominating spirit from the rest of the half, but didn't get the ball in the net again. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more halftime, or more action, I should say, after halftime. We'll be back in just a minute. We're back with you at Patterson Mill High School. It's the Patterson Mill Huskies leading at halftime by 2-0 over the Harford Tech Cobras. And Carol, we have the goals scored. That first goal was indeed scored by Julia Frankus. 3-0. No, Dylan, that goal didn't count. They're telling us from the booth that it's 3-0. Actually, it's 2-0 because the goal that did go in, they disallowed. So it is actually 2-0.
Right.
Frankus
Yeah.
scored the first goal. That came off 2 assists, Carolyn Michaels and Cassidy Ward. Second goal was scored by Cassidy Ward off a Natalie Zelaya assist. First goal at 23:48. Second goal, Carol, at 23:05. So the 2 goals scored within a
Very
30-some-odd second period.
Yeah, very close together.
And then no other scoring throughout the contest.
Yeah.
For the Cobras, they've had that one opportunity that bounced off the post or the side of the net. They'll have the ball starting here in the second half. Switched around now from right to left. The Cobras in black. Guess that's appropriate, huh? Cobras in black, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Homestanding Huskies in the white with the teal. Cobras
Oh,
again, as we said,
nice
came.
reverse stick
Yeah, it
drive.
was. That was what you were talking about, Carol. How you can turn the stick.
Yep.
Still have to hit it with that flat side, but you can hit it sort of backhanded.
Right. That was a beautiful hit.
Ball is
Cobras
loose.
are
Coming
up.
out is the goalie.
There it
The
is.
goal is open.
Goal
They
is
can't
go-
get a stick on it.
uh,
Wow. That was
a
the
shame.
chance.
That was a prime opportunity they lost. You can
I
get that goalie out.
didn't
Then
see
somebody on defense should go behind them, but they can't use their feet. They can
He-
only stop it with their stick.
Heather Reeder, the sophomore, number 4, has 3 goals on the year. That looked like was going to be her 4th goal. I think she could see that in her eyes, but
Yeah.
unable to get the conversion, so it stays 2-0. Here come the Huskies taking it out their defensive end. That's Cassidy Ward, who has a goal and an assist, number 11, bringing it down the near sideline. Trying to kick the ball out is goalie Auburn Blackman
Yep.
for Harford
Nice
Tech.
save. She's been busy.
She has. So tough to play goalie, Carol. You'll know better than I because there's so many bodies out there.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened on the second goal. That
I don't think she ever saw it.
I don't think she did. Like I
And-
say,
and
she
if the
heard
goalie, if the goalie can't see it, then you're in trouble.
she heard the clank of the ball as it hit the back of the net, the scoring area. Looked around and there was the ball. 2-0 is the score. Didn't get a chance to check on Maggie D'Angelo, the junior who was injured and out early in the game. Number 11, we haven't seen her back on the field.
No.
Looked like an ankle or maybe knee injury, some kind of a leg
Yeah.
injury. 30-minute halves, and we're just underway in the second half, 2-0. Harford Tech 2-1. They're 0-1 in the Chesapeake. 0-3 is Patterson Mill. They're 0-1 in the Chesapeake.
And Patterson Mills impressed me. They've got quite a few seniors on their squad.
They do, but Swinsko, no, they're saying no goal. They're saying he kicked it with the foot, and so
Yeah.
that didn't count.
Nope, that's a foul.
So that's 2 goals that have gone in that haven't counted.
Yep.
Tom Jones on the call, making it very clear, saying no goal. I call him Tom Jones. I think he probably prefers Thomas Jones.
Thomas, yeah. Nice
That's a
hit.
nice little flick, bringing it down the near side. That's Heather Ryder, number 4. Got it over to Mackenzie Reith. Mackenzie, one of the few seniors, she is the captain along with Mariah Williams and Emma Hudler of this Harford Tech Cobra team.
There goes Emma.
It's a nice interception by Emma. Took a stick with her, a stick of her opponent. Julia
Mariah.
Frankus lost her stick. Good to see number 2, Frankus, and number 1, Hudler, sort of matched up once against the other. What a hit by Hudler.
Yeah, it was off the foot, off a leg.
And she's just a sophomore. She really doesn't look physically like a sophomore either, Carol.
No,
Very strong.
I think it's a free hit coming out. I don't know.
Hudler will put it in play.
I guess they.
Oh, great stick work, but taken away. Was that Frankus? Yeah. Frankus gets the better of Hudler that time. Al. I say that for the player. They can't say Al, Carol, but I'll say it
No.
for them. Al. Although that may have hit the stick and the shin
That was
guard.
off Locklear, McKenna Locklear off her foot. Well, now they're going to give it to Harford Tech. I thought it was off of Harford Tech personally, but I missed it somewhere.
Well, there we go. Al,
Whoa.
nice stop. That's Cassidy Ward again.
Nice. There's a nice
1 goal,
scoop.
1 assist. She's played a great
nice
game.
stick work.
Strike 1, you get 2 more. Oh no, that's baseball. Sorry.
Oh, that's so frustrating for as a coach. You have that set up right there, and they swing like
Swing and miss.
They don't have to swing hard. They just have to get their stick on it.
Yeah.
And shove it somewhere toward the goal cage and hope somebody else on their team gets their stick on it.
Well, here comes a corner.
Another
And-
penalty corner for Patterson Mill.
Don't get confused. They don't take the ball to the corner. It's just called a corner. Why? We don't know.
Somebody determined that many years ago. Probably in Philadelphia area because I think that's where either that or Massachusetts.
How do you know that?
Well, that's the hotbed for
Okay.
field hockey
Okay.
around the mainline schools around Philadelphia. And of course, it was played in the British Empire by men.
And still played by men in the Olympics.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wasn't until recently that it became a women's sport.
Yeah.
A couple of Olympics ago.
Carol,
When you see it played at that high level, it's just amazing to watch.
You're just a fount of knowledge, Carol. You know stuff that people don't know.
It's not worth knowing.
Well, yeah, I didn't say that. Some might surmise that. Useless information.
Yeah, but it's there.
It's my trouble. I've got into my brain all these stats like Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak in 1941, Ted Williams' 406 in 1941. Who knows that? Who needs to know that?
How about yesterday?
Biggio with the cycle.
No, Mike Yastrzemski and Carl walked out from
Oh.
behind the Green Monster together.
Isn't that amazing? Carl, the granddad, and Mike, the ex-Oriole who couldn't play for the Orioles, who now has 20 home runs for the Giants.
Yeah.
Do I sound bitter? A little. So good to see that. Mike was in the Orioles system for many years.
7 years, I think he said.
Yeah. And then finally emerged with the Giants, having a great season.
And
Carl had one of those tough things like Doug DeCinze, who succeeded Brooks Robinson at third for the Orioles. He came after Ted Williams in left field.
Yep. It's tough to follow a legend.
But Carl had a Triple Crown season in 1967. Do you know that? Was that the last Triple Crown? No, I think there's been one since then.
Of course, Frank had it in '66.
That's correct. Back-to-back Triple Crown years.
Doesn't happen very often.
Folks out there saying, I thought there was a hockey game going on. They're talking baseball. You have to excuse my partner Carol and I. We are baseball junkies.
Yes, we are. Harford Tech coming out with a free hit coming up.
Thank you for bringing us back to the game at hand. 2-0 the score.
And again, Patterson Mills put a lot of pressure on the defense. Harford Tech. They're hanging in there.
Yeah, if they
but
could
you
just
can't
get that one goal, Carol, to make it a close game.
Yeah, well, you picture it gives you a little bit morale boost, everything. Think, oh yeah, we can score on this team.
There's Frankus. Boy, she is quick. Little number 2. Not a big kid at all. Unlike Hudler, who has size and strength and quickness.
Called her for obstruction. She did move into the lane of the ball.
And Carol, the great thing about Frankus, it shows like soccer that you don't have to be big in this sport.
No.
Size really is not a determining factor.
Quickness, speed and quickness.
And aggressive.
Oh yeah.
Skill.
Oh yeah. Every sport, I think, has to have some kind of aggression.
Yeah. But you think about basketball, where mostly you've got to be tall, or football, you've got to be big. Soccer, field hockey. You can be any size, big, small. Again, can't tell you the amount of time left. It's probably about 5 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, that's probably pretty close.
Clock being kept across the field. The scorekeeper, I went over at halftime, Carol. She said, you can come over and we'll tell you the time.
Yeah.
I said, do you know how old I am? Coming over here is like an all-day hike. I said, you can come over to our side.
That's right.
She
That's
didn't
right.
seem to think that was a good idea. Tech trying to get on the attack. Good job by Ward, Cassidy Ward, number 11.
There's Emma. She sort of swung and missed that one. That was I think she'd like to have that back.
Emma Hudler, number 1. In black.
Nice recovery by Tech.
Ooh, that was a high stick, and the official did call
she
it.
swung and missed. You saw the referee put her hand up right away, because that's dangerous play. Whoa, that's dangerous play too.
2 in a row.
Tech ball.
Deidre Magner is the goalie on, I should say the official on the far side, who made the call.
Nice hit by number 13, Kenna Locklear. Number 15, Lily Utenreuther.
Thank you for saying that name, Utenreuther.
And now here
Here
comes Emma.
she is. Here's Hudler. Oh, great move by Hudler. Left-handed, she turned it around.
There's that backhanded.
That backhanded.
Oh, got a corner coming up.
Wow, what a skill that is. It's hard enough to hit the ball on the forward side.
Yeah.
Again, you're not hitting it with the curve side. You're turning the stick completely around and backhanding it. So Carol, could you do that? Were you a good backhander?
No.
Oh.
Well, it really wasn't a skill when I played. Now, coaching, yes, a couple of girls had started to pick it up. But it isn't. It's an advanced skill. And when I was at Bel Air, I had JV. So basically, I was just trying to get them to play the game. Oh, nice save.
With hands that time up to make the save.
Yeah, that's the only thing that could have saved it. Because she can't take her stick up there either.
And that was Natalie Burke who made the save for Patterson Mill.
Number 2 is Mariah. There's obstruction, yeah.
Mariah
Williams. Obstruction on number 18. She cut in front. Coralie Sims.
Get a nice close-up look at Mariah.
I'm sorry, wrong 18. Isabella Glorioso.
The first half, Mariah was way on the other side of the field. Now she's in our camera range, so we get a chance to see this young captain of the Cobras playing.
Yeah,
Played a great game.
She's a nice player, yeah.
At number 8 is Paige Stanley, the freshman we had mentioned early in the game. If you're John Esposito, the coach for Harford Tech, you know this is going to be like the Orioles, a building year. Yeah, you're going to try to win some games. You already won 2. You're not saying you're not going to win games, but you know that you're inexperienced, you're gaining experience. On the attack, good defensive job there. At the last moment, that ball was knocked away. That was Tara Dow.
Nice save.
Tara Dow, who's in the ball game, number 3. Ward trying to center it. She got a little bit high. Unlike soccer, having the ball at chest height is not really a good thing coming across the...
not coming in the circle, no.
Yeah. You want to keep that ball rolling on the field as much as you can. I think maybe that number 3, Tara Dow, has come in to take the place of Maggie D'Angelo, who again went out with that injury early in the first half.
I think you're right, yeah.
I mean, both these teams are thin enough in terms of having experienced players, but we talked about Patterson Mill having 2 players out on college visits today. Obstruction, Carol?
Yes.
Thomas Jones makes that call.
Yes.
What a play by Ward. I'm impressed with her stick ability.
Yes, she's been, all over the midfield area. She's just, hard to get by her.
Cassidy Ward, who plays that center forward position. It's an interesting offense that Coach Swinsko plays. It's like 5 forwards, 3 who are sort of like midfielders who come up.
Nice flick. Nobody there. That's where you want your right wing, right over there on that area to redirect that.
And Carol, the tendency is to want to bunch up. Get toward the middle.
Just ask a former JV coach.
Spread it out.
It's like there's a magnet in the ball, and everybody's around it.
It's like the young soccer players when my boys first began. It was like an amoeba.
Yeah.
You would have like this mass going toward the goal all in one. Spread out.
Nice play by number 18. I thought she was going to get a hold of that. Coralie Sims for Tech.
Yeah, she didn't start the game either. She's a freshman as well, Coralie Sims, number 18.
Well, you got nothing to lose. You might as well put them out there and, Give him some experience.
There's Ward looking to try to get the shot off. No, it's Frankus instead of Ward, number 2.
She might have been called for dangerous stick play. Yeah, that was chopped at.
She's the kind of young lady that asks no quarters and gives no quarters. You can see the
Yeah.
aggressive nature. There
Yeah.
she is. Frankus. Ball right out in front of the goal.
Well, if they don't score on this, they're missing a golden opportunity.
Yeah, when they get bunched up like that, and you can see Frankus just throwing her hands up in frustration. How did that not go in? Frankus diving for it, doesn't it? Get it? Ugh, right off the knee. Ouch. It was Cassidy Ward who stopped it the hard way.
Yeah. She'll have that bruise tomorrow morning to look at.
Timeout on the
Timeout.
field.
Yeah.
Assistant coach Lee Swinsko, and he is the husband, in case you're wondering, of Shannon Swinsko, and those two will be parents again next week. Tuesday, I'm told. That's pretty, I'd say, dedicated. She teaches all day in phys ed. She's out here, what is this, a Wednesday? So we're talking less than a week away from delivering her child. 3 boys and now a young girl.
Wow.
I believe she said the boys are all under 4 years of age.
Oh my goodness. She'll never be out of diapers.
Oh.
She's gonna be
And
changing diapers for a long time.
She teaches and coaches. I was talking to Gerard Clark, who is the excellent athletic director here. Say hello to Jason Bellamy, who's been the athletic director since the school opened, who's now moved on. And the new athletic director is Gerard Clark, who still teaches a full load, coaches basketball, boys varsity basketball, and now is the athletic director. I said, are you crazy? And he's also a parent, too. He's got 2 young kids. I know no youth, Carol. It's a great thing. I've always said that youth is a wonderful thing. Too bad it's wasted on the young. Think what we could do with youth, Carol.
Yeah.
Probably nothing.
Well,
Probably mess
you're
it
a lot
up
smarter
again. Yeah.
than I was when I was 15.
Yeah. Back in the day. Hope you're enjoying this telecast to Harford Cable Network. Want to thank Gerard Clark, now that we mentioned his name, the athletic director for Patterson Mill, and Emily Knowles, the athletic director for Harford Tech, helping us out putting this contest together. Of course, coaches John Esposito for Harford Tech and Shannon Swinsko for Patterson Mill. Carol, 26 years. What do you think, huh? We've been on the air since 1994.
That's wonderful. That's a great, great service that Harford Cable does for young people.
It
Harford
surely
County.
is. I'm going to
Really.
challenge Vin Scully. He was on the air 60 years.
Oh, there you go.
I think his record will
I
stand.
think it stands. Yeah.
He was what, 88, and was still doing play-by-play. Vin Scully, one of my favorite announcers.
Nice push up the field.
Coming up the side, that's Ward. Nice job by Ward to Frankus. Frankus looking for the shot, shoots it. Oh, great save.
Great.
Coming out as
Excellent.
Blackman to make that save.
Excellent save. And they got stick obstruction.
I like how Ward and Frankus play as a tandem. They assist each other.
Ward and they're both seniors, so I'm sure they've played side by side or one behind the other for a couple of years. They know each other real well.
And Carol, you talk about a rebuilding team, but if you're a senior, rebuilding, you don't want to hear about that. This is your last year.
Exactly, yeah.
Ward.
Number 13, McKenna Locklear, almost got that intercepted. She got it on her stick but couldn't control it.
Here's Williams. Out of bounds it goes.
Mariah. She's another one that's been very impressive.
Oh, that let the ball go through. Is that a goal? Yes, it is. It looks like number 14. That was a mistake. The defensive team let the ball go through. 14 was able to get a stick on it. 24, not 14, 24. Thank you. And that's not one of the starters. So let's see. Yeah, hey, she's the young lady, Caroline Gebhard, who was just brought up. You'll see the replay here. You'll notice the ball was rolling in front of the goal. Gebhard was able to get a stick on it.
Yeah, that's what you do. You see that ball in front of the goal, put your stick on it.
It was almost like slow motion there, that the ball was just lying there. I think Tech thought that it was not in play because it had not been hit by an offensive player, and there was Gebhardt. She's an offensive player, put it in.
Yep.
Make it 3-0. How about that? Gebhardt just brought up from the JV.
Yeah, that's she'll remember that for a long time.
And she's on national TV. Frankus. That ball was in. Is that another goal?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, and I think that's Frankus. Looked like number 2, Julia Frankus, with her second goal of the game. And like that, it's 4-0. That goal scored within a 30-second period of time, sort of like the first 2 goals in the first half. Scored within 43 seconds of one another. And just like that, Carol, it's 4-0.
Yeah, that's almost insurmountable.
Yeah.
In field hockey and soccer both. But you got to play on and try to improve your, work on stuff.
Yep.
Get ready for the next game. Try to play smart.
I'm impressed with Patterson Mill, Frankus, and Ward in particular. Here's Ward. What speed she has coming down that right side. Beating Mariah Williams to the ball. There's Ward. Centers it. Blackman is able to kick it out of there. Carol, is it true in the old days that goalies had steel-toed shoes?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes, they did.
They don't anymore, do they?
I don't think so.
I don't want to make a goalie mad. I mean, think about it. You come out of there kicking with steel-toed shoes. That's got to be a little intimidating.
Yeah. They could put a hurting on you.
Yeah. Little high kick. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. See you at the orthopedic hospital.
Oh, what do you mean that's a bruise on your shoulder? I didn't mean to kick that high.
Oh, nice, very nice by
There's Gebhard,
number
24.
11. Who was
That's
that?
Ward, yeah.
Cassidy Ward, yeah. Nice flick.
She has
into
been
the circle.
Just outstanding. There she is again, Ward. Nice center.
Her teammates can't fault her. She's giving them lots of opportunities.
Absolutely.
Put it across in front of that goal cage.
Chance that time for number 3. That was Jenna Tangiers. Couldn't get a stick on it. Turns it and hits it with that backhand shot.
That was Frankus, wasn't it?
Phew, yeah.
2? Yeah.
Julia Frankus.
She's she's a hustler.
Dynamo.
Yeah.
I love it.
Really is. Very quick. Got good ball sense. Game sense. A couple subs coming in for
Frankus with the interception. Great stick work. Shoots the ball. It's in. Is it good? Frankus is injured, but she has the goal. Frankus from just inside that 16-yard line gets her 3rd goal. She now has the hat trick. Do they have hat tricks in field hockey?
I don't know. I guess.
They have
Why wouldn't they?
hat tricks in ice hockey. They don't throw squid on the field, do they?
No.
No. I never understood that in ice hockey. They throw squid, octopus.
I don't understand
on the
that.
ice.
I didn't care for ice hockey anyway.
First of all, where do they get the squid?
Yeah.
I don't think they have squid in Canada, do they? I don't know. So 5-0 is our score. All Patterson Mill.
And that's Carly Brent. She came in as a sub for number 11, which would be, where'd she go? Cassidy. Ward.
Cassie's still in, number
Oh,
11.
is she? Okay.
Mhm.
Somebody on that front line that she went in
Yeah.
for.
Looks like we have a number 5 in the ball game.
That's Christine Kim.
Yeah. Here's Ward. I don't see Frankus in the game. Ball right in front of the net. I think Frankus, number 2, is out after scoring
I think
3
so,
goals.
yeah. Well, why keep her in there? I mean, she's proven what she could do, and you just risk her injury, and
Yep.
I'm sure you'd like to have her to play again the next game. So
And of course, good sportsmanship. You don't want to run the score up 5-0.
yeah, exactly.
Pretty much have the game in hand.
And you also want to give your second stringers some playing time. Makes sense to me. That's what I'd be doing. That wasn't a real good strong hit.
No, it was not.
Harford Tech should get that out of there. Okay, got stick obstruction.
Caroline Michaels, a young lady who hit the ball in. That's Ward.
I think she'd be my next sub. Get her out of there and let her
Yeah,
relax.
she sort of holds that team together, Carol.
Yeah,
She's like the glue. They sort of play around her. Don't know how much time. It must be about halfway through the second half.
probably.
Again,
Yeah.
we remind you that we don't have access to the clock with all the construction going on here at Patterson Mill. The scoreboard, which normally operates for field hockey, does not. Carol, interested here that Coach Swinsko said that she would like to continue playing on this field rather than going to the turf field.
Oh, it is a nice field.
Yeah. And
Nice
she's-
and level.
Well, and she's been here now for, 14 years, 13 years? It's 2019. They started in 05.
Right.
So she said they'll probably play JV here and maybe a varsity game or two. Off the side of the goal, Ward fighting for the ball. You know, I look at the Patterson Mill bench. They only have, 4 substitutes? And it looks like Frankus is getting set to come back in, number 2. Remember, they're down 2 players who are on college visits, Alyssa Levitt and Kate Lloyd.
That's a better hit.
Nice job by Williams to come in and disrupt it. Here's Ward. Blackman. The ball is in. Nope. They say it's going to be off the defensive player.
It was off the offensive leg.
Yep. Which
After
means,
she made the first stop. The second shot was off the leg.
which is not allowed.
Mm.
In some ways, that's a safety feature because you
yeah.
don't want to be hitting the ball with your leg.
No, not that ball.
Good job
Nice
by
save.
Blackman.
Nice save by Blackman on that.
And Williams with the next save. Carol, if you've never had in the audience had a chance to get one of these field hockey balls in your hand, you should do that. Let somebody take a shot at you, from about 10 yards away. I don't know why you would do that, but you might gain some respect for these young players.
Tripping. And number 6 got a trip.
Ward gets a nice center again.
It was Baradelli, Gabrielle Baradelli, who committed that foul for Tech. But now Tech has the ball. Mariah ready to put it in play.
Mariah Williams, one of the senior captains on the team. Ward has the ball go right through the wickets. Probably the only mistake I've seen her make the whole game.
Yeah. That was a nice pickup by number 15 for Lily Phelps.
And Christine Kim in the ball game, number 5 for Patterson Mill. Remember, Patterson Mill lost to Falston Monday by 5-0. Carol, you know what I found? It's a lot more fun to win than lose. You can write that down in the booth. Dylan, write that down. Uncle Don said it's more fun to win than lose.
That one of Uncle Don's top 10
It's,
maxims?
it is. It's right there in the top of my maxims, right? Frankus.
Oh, nice save. Nice shot, nice save.
So if a
Frankus doesn't have any wasted motion. She cranks that sucker and lets it rely.
very good call, Carol. If a 3 goals is a hat trick, what is 4 goals? I'm sure field hockey people know that. A hat trick and 1. We say that because Frank is now with 3 goals, 1 in the first half, 2 here in the second half. 3 of the 5 that Patterson Mill has scored. There she is, Frankus.
She could get away with that high stick because there was nobody around.
That
Nice
ball.
save again by Blackman.
Frankus was cranking up for another shot. It just skipped over her stick.
Oh, nice
There's
cross.
Frankus, stops it.
Nice save. I don't think the goalie even knew where that was, but she found it.
Yep.
Harford Tech's got to get darn. She held on to it too long. She came out of there. She should have immediately sent it to the right wing.
Lily Feltz, number 15, with the interception. You know, I think I figured out why Coach Swinsko likes playing on this field.
Ooh, that's close.
It's her home field. She's used to every bump and turf and
Yeah.
divot.
Bel Air had the best grass field when I was coaching. They had a wonderful field out there in front of the school.
I mean, turf fields, there's never a bad hop.
Right.
Here,
And
you
there were
kind of
very
know
few-
where they are.
Very few on Bel Air's field. Can't say that about most of the other schools.
No.
And Coach Hemmis kept it that way. She dared you to get on it.
Yeah, maybe that's why she hit me with the field hockey ball.
Stay off her field. Oh, nice.
Here's Ward. Looking to center, does so. Frankus. How many times have we said Ward to Frankus, huh?
Yeah. They've got it down pat.
Here's Ward. To Frankus. I think I'll just record that so I don't have to keep saying it. Sometimes it's Frankus to Ward.
Feet.
Yeah.
Yep, that's going to be called every time in the circle because you've got the advantage. That's what the referee waits for. They'll throw their hand up, but they wait to see who gets the advantage off the foul. And if it is the team that's fouled, they'll blow the whistle. If it's the other team, they'll play on. Keeps the ball moving, keeps the game moving.
Ward. Ward with the ball. Nope. Thomas Jones says, hey, wait a minute. That's a little too quick.
Serenity Logan, number 7, got that on her feet. On Tech's team.
Look at this. Now, how can you do that, Carol? Can you balance the ball on your
Used to
stick?
be able to.
No, I want to see that. After the game, I'm going to get a stick and a ball and see if you can still do it. She was dribbling the ball in the air on her stick for what, 3 or 4?
I used to be able to do that. I'm not saying I can at this age. I don't know. I haven't had a hockey stick in my hand in a long time.
Do you have proof of that? Is there film? Is there a witness?
Probably not.
Okay, fine.
You have to take me at my word.
Okay, I do. We came up with your nickname at the last game, and I felt bad about it because you are such a nice person, a good Christian person, and a great church person, and wonderful in every way. And I called you Crusher Carol, or Carol the Crusher, didn't I?
Yes.
It was not nice.
Yeah. Well.
That was because Kelly, or was it Helen the Hammer, was playing for John Carroll, and we were trying to come up with nicknames that would fit. And
yeah.
Carol the Crusher just came to my mind, and I felt bad as soon as I said it.
Yes. Well.
So here's the question: why am I repeating it now?
Yes. Ooh, nice try.
I must not.
Nice try to save that.
I must not have felt that bad.
I don't think you did. Yeah. I think you're enjoying it, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
That's all right.
A little bit. What do they say about revenge is sweet?
Yeah.
Oh.
What do we have? A timeout?
Looks like we have a timeout. Again.
Oh no, I think it's game. Officials are shaking hands.
That would be an official timeout. That would be the end of the game. Wow, again, without access to the clock, we lost track of the time, having so much fun. 5-0 the final score as Miss Frankus scores 3 of those goals, Julia Frankus. Cassidy Ward scored one, and Gerhardt scored the other. Gebhardt, I'm sorry, scored the other goal. So those are the 5 goals in the 5-0 win for Patterson Mill. They go to 1-3 on the year, 1-0 in the Chesapeake. Meantime, for Harford Tech, they dropped to 2-2, 0-2 in the Chesapeake. Don't go away. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the game for you. Talk to some of the stars of the game. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to Patterson Mill High School, where the Patterson Mill Huskies have completed a 5-0 win over Harford Tech, their first win of the season, going to 1-3. Let's talk first of all to Tech. Mariah Williams, a senior on this team, senior leader. I know it's no fun to be on a team that loses, but how do you keep your spirit up?
Well, I try to keep everyone positive because it's not very good to like have bad energy, going into a game and then everyone yelling at each other. That was a problem we had last year, but we're trying to fix that, keep everyone positive. I mean, we can't win them all, obviously, and we did move up a division, or conference,
Yeah,
so it's obviously tougher this year. So I knew that it was going to be hard for us, so we had to keep like just positive energy going around. That's why I try to keep everyone, no arguing, no, don't do that, yeah.
Well, you're a great leader on the field, and you lead by example. I really like the way you play that position. Tough because you play that left side. They're coming down on you
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what to say about that.
I'm just proud of the way you played. Let's talk to Emma Hudler. Emma, a sophomore, you're a co-captain of the team. I mean, that's really something, being a sophomore and co-captain.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Tell me about how that happens.
Well, you have to be a good leader of the team. You have to make sure you get respected by everyone. And it's really important to me because I'm younger than everyone, and it's a great honor.
Emma, your skill level is so great. How did you become such a good player at such a young age?
I started very young, and I play with Coach John, and he's taught me a lot.
How about field hockey? What is there about the sport, the game, that interests you, that you like? And it is your favorite sport?
Yes, it is my favorite sport. I just like the skill level that I play at, and there's a lot of running involved, which I like a lot.
Emma, you were all county last year as a freshman. I don't know that I've heard of that ever. I mean, what kind of an honor is that, being a ninth grader and being all county?
It's a great honor. I take a lot of pride in it because you don't see many freshmen getting all county, and it's a great honor.
Well, congratulations on your season. You were a champion last year as a freshman. Now you moved up to Chesapeake. It'll be tougher, but I can see you guys have some talent. You're going to be good before the year's out.
I really think we have a lot of good players on our team, and I do have hope in it, and I think the season's going to be good.
Well, very good. Have a great time, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Going to turn over here and talk to our Patterson Mill, the winners. You're now 1-3 on the year. Cassidy Ward and Julia Frankus, you guys are sort of joined at the hip almost, because I'm saying it's Ward to Frankus, it's Frankus to Ward. Now, you've played together a lot. How are you such a combo?
We have played for years together, but we've also been best friends since we were in kindergarten. So it definitely helps on the field having a little bit of chemistry with everything.
So you sort of know where she is without even looking to see where she is. Tell me about playing with this young lady, Julia Frankus.
Playing with Julia, it just feels so natural because she always knows where to be, and like I feel like I can always depend on her to run to a pass, run to any ball, and she's just always there for me.
Well, your stick skills are so good. I loved how you dominated the midfield.
Thank you.
Let's talk to Julia. Julia, we talked about the aggressiveness that you have. You threatened me. I'm glad you put the stick down. Tell me about being aggressive. You're a small person, relatively. Does that help, being small?
I think it does. I'm lower to the ground, but I don't let my height stop me. So I just get to passes, get to balls, keep the communication up. I don't let it stop my game.
I can tell that you love the game of field hockey. Tell me about what's so great about it.
I've been playing for years. Again, I think the highlight of my playing is just being with my best friend on and off the field. I don't know. I've just been playing for so long. Is what I do.
Now, Patterson Mill has been a very successful program through the years, winning a tournament last year. This year, you've lost a lot of seniors. You've got a lot of juniors and young people on the team. How's it feel being a senior on a team that's not expected to do really well?
It just gives me more motivation to be a leader on the team, make myself like a presence that somebody can come to on and off the field again. And I think that's something that I'm taking pride in this year, is leading the team on and off the field. And I think that goes towards our game and towards our play.
Well, very good. Thanks, girls. Have a great time. Now go be with your teammates.
Thank you so much.
We'll wrap this up for you. Again, the final score was 5-0. You saw Julia Frankus. Julia scored 3 goals. You met Cassidy Ward, who scored a goal and also had an assist. The other goal by Carolyn Gerhard. So again, thank you for tuning in. Our final score 5-0. The win by Patterson Mill. They go to 1-3. They are now 1-1 in the Chesapeake. The losing team, Harford Tech, they're now 2-2, 0-2 in the Chesapeake. Again, for my partner Carol Barker, I'm Don Morrison. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Final score: Patterson Mill 5, Harford Tech 0.